And welcome, sports fans, to today's Roundtable, and we've got a great show lined up for you today. First off, there's a lot that's been happening over the last few days here in the Southeast Missouri, Northeast Arkansas area to report on, and we're going to get to that in just a moment, but we've got a big treat for you today, and we've got two guests in from Malden, Robert Eisen and Donnie Jenkins, going to be along with us in studio today to talk about the 1985 Malden Boys Class 3A State Championship team back all the way to 1985, and we've got footage of that game as well to show highlights of that 85 state championship game between Malden and Lutheran North. So it's going to be a very exciting show. Glad you joined us for that today, and we've kind of been going back in history here on the Roundtable the past few weeks. This past week here on YHC, we showed the 1974 Class 2A state championship. We're going to skip ahead a little over a decade to 85 for today, and that Malden Class 3A state championship team. We got two of the players, Robert Eisen and Donnie Jenkins, in studio to talk about their magical season back in 85 and even in-game highlights of that state championship game. And we're going to be showing that state championship game throughout the weekend and in the next week here on YHC. We'll even have it online at YHCTV.com and SemoSportZone.com to view online as well. And it'll be coming up next after this live broadcast of the Roundtable today at 11 o'clock. You can watch that full 1985 state championship basketball game between Malden and Lutheran North. So got a great show lined up for you today, and we are glad you joined us. And if you want to give a shout out to these guys when they come on, you can do so either through email, sports@semosportzone.com, or you can shoot us a tweet on Twitter at SemoSportZone. So have that handy if you want to give a shout out to these guys on the air once they come along. So be sure to have your smartphones, your computers ready to send us on your messages here on the Roundtable. And we got a few things to report on from the area this week and over the past few days. And yesterday's baseball games, we had a few in the area. Malden suffered a loss to New Madrid County Central, 3-0. 3-0 New Madrid County Central over Malden, and Graves County, Kentucky took a loss to Sikeston. Sikeston got a win over Mayfield, Kentucky, 13-9. And the baseball and softball seasons, even track seasons, are starting to wind down now and getting into the final weeks of the season. We're going to talk about that briefly in our next segment. But before we go to that next segment, we want to talk about what's happened here locally. And we've got a young footballer from Piggott who's signing to play at Hendrix College for next season. And Nick Haywood had a really good career there at Piggott with the Mohawks over the last few years. With the Mohawks, he has signed to play college football at Hendrix College going forward. And we wish the best of luck to Nick Haywood going forward. He's had a great run at Piggott, and we've had him on quite a bit with Piggott Mohawk football here on YHC. And also, Coney Ely, star standout defensive end for the Mizzou Tigers, and originally from New Madrid County Central here in Southeast Missouri, was selected 60th overall in the NFL draft yesterday evening, and he was selected by the Carolina Panthers. And he goes in the second round to the Carolina Panthers, and Coney Ely joining one of the best defenses in the league already with the Panthers. So certainly a great local story. Young talent Coney Ely. We've seen him for the past 5-6 years as he was at New Madrid County Central, and now playing at a big-time level in the SEC Conference in college football, making first-team All-SEC this past year, and widely considered one of the top defensive ends in the country in college football, and now moving on to the pro ranks with the Carolina Panthers. So certainly a great feat by young Coney Ely, and he joins the ranks of your Ben Hansbrough, Ben Hansbrough, but also Tyler Hansbrough, drafted in the first round back in I think it was the 2005 draft, and here of late, Otto Porter, drafted in, I think, the third, fourth, or he was a lottery pick for the Washington Wizards. So he's just added on to that list of being drafted into professional sports. So certainly a great feat for young Coney Ely going forward with his career with the Carolina Panthers. And taking a look quickly at girls spring softball, that tournament is starting to wind down, and the semifinals will be taking place. That will be taking place this week, and it'll be Kennett versus Scott City in one semifinal, and one quarterfinal is yet to be played. That's Galena and Mount Vernon today, and the winner of that will take on Crest Ridge in the other semifinal. And those games will be played Thursday, this coming Thursday at Three Rivers College in Poplar Bluff. So it's just over the way at Three Rivers. And the finals are set for Saturday, the 17th, next Saturday at 1 o'clock at Three Rivers. So Kennett's had a really good run, Scott City as well. And, this is going to be a good chance for Southeast Missouri to come away with spring softball tournament championship. So we'll be looking forward to that here in this next week and how that develops. And we're going to take a quick break and be back with the baseball tournaments, the district tournaments that are taking place this coming week. So we'll be back with that coming up.
Welcome to NFL Total Access,
the show that takes you inside the locker room and down on the field. With inside access to all 32 teams all year long. NFL Total Access, Monday through Saturday, only on NFL Network.
NFL Network, where football season never ends.
I chose Three Rivers College. Caring staff made it easy to enroll. I'm receiving affordable, quality college classes. Day, evening, and online classes let me work college into my schedule.
With locations throughout Southeast Missouri and over 200 course offerings, including online courses, Three Rivers can help you earn a college or career technical degree.
I chose Three Rivers College. You should too.
Enroll today. Learn more at trcc.edu. Three Rivers College. Success starts here.
First Midwest Bank Gold Club offers special privileges for our friends who are age 50 or better and have combined deposits of $5,000. Members enjoy trips, cruises, seminars, and picnics along with free personalized bank services. Upcoming trips include Journey Through the Holy Land, Yellowstone in winter, Classic Ireland, and Hawaiian Paradise Cruise. Stop by any First Midwest Bank location to sign up for the Gold Club. It's absolutely free. First Midwest Bank, providing common sense financial solutions every day.
And now we're going to take a look at some high school baseball district tournaments that are going to be getting underway this next week throughout the area in Southeast Missouri. And starting off with Class 1 District 1, which is going to take place at Risco. Cooters got the top seed in the tournament, and they'll take on the winner of Clarkton and North Pemiscot. And Risco, the second seed, will take on the winner of Gideon and Southland. That tournament in Risco for this week. And Class 1 District 2 at Oran. Oran with the top overall seed. They'll take on the winner of Bell City and Scott County Central. And Oak Ridge, the second seed, taking on the winner of Advance and Richland. And also we have for Class 1 District 3, South Iron, the top overall seed with the bye. They'll take on the winner of Bunker and Naylor. And also Leopold will take on Lesterville. Valley will take on Viburnum. In Class 2, District 1, Zenith Hornersville with the top seed. They'll take on the winner of South Pemiscot and Holcomb. Portageville with the second seed takes on the winner of Hayti and Campbell. And in Class 2, District 2 at Thayer, East Carter with the top overall seed. They'll take on the winner of Van Buren and Ellington. And in the semifinals, there is Neelyville and Thayer. And in Class 2, District 3 at Bernie, Chaffee with the number 1 seed. They'll take on the winner of Bloomfield and Puxico. And Greenville, the second seed, takes on the winner of Bernie and Saxony Lutheran. And take a look at Class 3, District 2. We don't have a Class 3 District 1 bracket yet, but Class 3 District 2 at Charleston. That's Scott City with the top overall seed. They'll take on the winner of Kelly and Charleston. And Woodland, the second seed, will take on the winner of Clearwater and East Prairie. And no Class 4, or excuse me, Class 4. We don't have a Class 4 district tournament yet. But Class 5 District 1 at Farmington, Seckman with the top overall seed. They'll take on the winner of Hillsboro and Jackson. And Poplar Bluff, the second seed, will take on the winner of Farmington and Cape Central. And those are your district tournaments to look forward to for this spring season. And that Class 2, there's all the Class 2, District 1, 2, and 3 going to be very competitive tournaments. We've got a couple of those in the top 10 baseball state rankings for the last few weeks, and teams like East Carter County, Bernie, Hawcom, Neelyville, Chaffee. They're all just spread across 3 districts, but it's going to be very competitive in that Class 2, as it's been over the last few years. It's going to be very competitive once again this year, so it's going to be very fun to watch, see who comes out of that Class 2 this year in high school baseball. And we're going to take a break and be back with our special guest for today. We've got the 85 Malden Basketball State Championship team. We've got 2 of those members with us today. We've got Donnie Jenkins and Robert Eisen. Talk about that magical season back in 85, as well as in-game highlights from that state championship game. And you can email these guys once they come on at CMO's Sport Zone for Twitter, and also sports@cmosportzone.com if you want to give a shout out to these guys here on the air. So we're going to take a break and be back with those guys coming up.
It's the small things in life that you tend to appreciate. The quality of care at CMO Health Network is no different. They focus on the small details with healthcare that make you feel good, so you can get back to enjoying the small things in no time. They have so many ways to take care of you, with 8 locations serving rural communities in need of medical care, including dental facilities and an in-house laboratory.
You'll feel good about this. CMO Health Network.
What is your emergency? Need assistance at County Road 61 and Highway 9. Help is on its way.
Clear! There's a better way to jumpstart your soil back to health. Apply Endzone to protect and increase nitrogen efficiency without killing bacteria. Apply Prevent to increase phosphorus availability and reduce fixation. Better yet, use them both to get more from your fertilizer investment and see higher potential yields. Ag Explorer, your prescription for healthy soil.
And we're back, and we're along with 2 members of the 1985 Malden Class 3A Boys State Championship basketball team. We've got Robert Eisen here in the middle, and on the outside we got Donnie Jenkins. And guys, it's good to have you along with us today.
Good to be here.
It's been a long time. 85 to 2014. We finally got you on TV to talk about it.
Right. Yeah, almost 30 years later, huh?
Yeah, it's getting up there.
Yeah.
So, we talk about past basketball teams and the greatness, between Charleston, Scott County Central, and all these local teams that we've got. And the '85 Malden State Championship team always sticks out in people's minds. Everybody talks about, well, you can't leave out Malden. Malden's only got the one state title, but hey, that '85 Malden team, that's what people always bring up when it comes to the teams back in the '80s and '90s.
Right. Yeah. I mean, in '85, of course, I was a junior. Donnie was a senior. And it was a pretty good team. I mean, we had the size, we had speed. We had like Donnie, a couple other kids that could shoot. So, and just about everybody on the team was pretty athletic. So it was a good team.
Yeah, it certainly was. Donnie was mainly the point guard, shooting guard for the team. Shooting guard. Yeah. And we've got some footage of that here. We're going to show in just a moment. Not yet, but you'll see Donnie, do his thing, and he's quite the player. And Robert, you man the inside with Ray Pugh. You're known as the Twin Towers down low for that team.
Yes. Me and Ray, I mean, we just played on the block, which Ray, he could shoot from outside a little bit, but I always played with my back to the basket. And, of course, Donnie, when he crossed half court, he was in range. So, if there had been the 3-point line, I think Donnie would have set a lot of records.
Yeah, that's one thing. We've got the footage, and I was working on it, and that's one thing. The first thing I saw when I went out in the court, no 3-point line, and that was right around that time when it was starting to come in, but not quite yet there in '85.
Right. I remember it coming in. I want to say my sophomore year at Three Rivers. I remember walking on the court one day for practice and seeing that 3-point line. I'm thinking, what is that? But yeah, I remember it coming into play. I was a sophomore in college, which, I mean, it never was a big thing for me because I always played with my back to the basket and not facing the basket. So, that put in for people like Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie, we see him, boy, he shoot that thing out there about NBA range. So, yeah, he certainly had the range. Now, Donnie, you played at that level, and you went on to play at the college level as well. So,
Yes.
just maybe tell us about your experience playing in that '85 season.
It was something that you can remember. It's just like yesterday, and I can remember, playing. I think I scored like the first 8 points. Ray hadn't even touched the ball, and he was over there fussing because he hadn't touched the ball. I was hot, so let me shoot, Ray. You get the rebound. But it was fun. I mean, we had fun, and I mean, like I said, we come out on top. Start of the season, we didn't ever think we was gonna be there, but we just kept going, kept playing, and we ended up there.
Yeah, certainly did. And I tell you, this Class 3 district that was there in the 80s with you all, New Madrid County Central, and Charleston, very competitive. And we'll take a look at this graphic, if we can take a look at that. In a 10-year span from 83 to 92, the state champions, 8 of the 10 state champions from 83 to 92 came from that Class 3 district with you all, Charleston, and New Madrid County Central. As we're taking a look at some footage here, the 10-year span, 83 to 92, 8 of the 10 years, you all in '85 and a couple other years from other teams won the state championship there from Class 3 District 1. So it was a very competitive district.
Right, and that 3A district down here in southeast Missouri has always been competitive. I mean, even back then it was competitive. We talk about our team quite a bit, but I think back on our team, and probably one thing that really made it a special team is all the guys on there, we all got along.
Yeah.
I mean, we all hung out with each other off the court and away from school, and I mean, we was like a family. So I think that was one of the biggest things about our team. We didn't have anyone on that team that was selfish.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to win. So
Sure.
And, everybody just did their part.
Yeah, and we'll go over this footage again to kind of point all the players out that's shown in the video, and this '85 team, this is the only state championship in the school's history. But you look back there in the '80s, this might have been the best team there in that that '80s decade that came from Southeast Missouri. It seemed like y'all had it all. Y'all had the big guys underneath, you, Robert, and Ray Pugh, and on the outside, Donnie and a couple. I can't remember the other couple others y'all
Bobby
had.
Lewis and
Tracy Stone.
Yeah, Billy Jones.
Yeah.
And if we could get that graphic up, that the 1983 through 1992 of that graphic, and taking a look here. Here are the state champions from 83 to 92 in this 10-year span. And in the gold there are the teams from the Class 3 district. You know, Charleston there in 83, 84 McKinley out of St. Louis, 85 UAll, 86 and 87 Charleston. New Madrid got theirs in 88. Charleston won it 2 years in a row again there in 89 and 90. And the 90 team, Charleston undefeated. And Festus won at 91, but then again, Charleston in 92. So Charleston got, they were the breadwinner there in the 80s, but that in all those teams, you all came out of that Class 3 district. So you all dominated the state of Missouri for the most part there through the 80s.
Actually, we read about that McKinley team. They already had their hotels reserved, before they even played the game, So that kind of got us fired up when we went up there,
Because that was the 84 year that they won, and they were going to repeat in 85.
Repeat in 85, and they already had the hotels reserved in Columbia before they even played us.
Yeah, did they hand all that information to
No,
y'all?
I don't think. I don't
Here's
think that
room number
happened,
in.
The coach was in the newspaper. He was like, "Where is Malden?
Yeah.
What is a Greenway?"
Yeah.
He had us hyped up before we got to play them, and I mean, we just come out the locker room and jump over.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what hit them, And they had two good guys, two or three good guys that went on. I think they went on to play pro.
Yeah, well,
they went to
the one kid played it. Well, both of them I think went on to play at St. Louis U.
Yeah.
Which they had two kids that at that time were Division I prospects, big time Division I prospects, and I remember the best one on that team was Monroe Douglas, and both of them kids went on to play at St. Louis U. So, and the other kid was Roland Gray, which Roland Gray was probably about 6'8", 6'8", 6'9", somewhere in there. And Monroe Douglas, he's more of a 6'4", 6'5" kid that was very athletic. So, yeah, they kind of poked fun as where Malden. What is a green wave?
Well, the wave rolled, didn't it?
Wave rolled. We kind of took that to heart. I mean, we didn't mind being considered, country kids from down here in the Boot Hill. So that kind of fired us up, them poking fun and making fun of us. So, and I think Ray, he got all the interviews with the newspapers and stuff. So at the end, they said Pugh is outspoken. So Ray kind of told them where Malden was and what a Greenway was and all that. So it worked out good.
Yeah, sure did. And we're going to take a look at your championship run. And you mentioned McKinley, and that was probably y'all's toughest game along the way there. As starting out with the first off, we want to talk about the district championship. We don't have it on here. The district championship, you all beat New Madrid, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
And that was a close one.
Yeah, about 2 points.
2
Actually,
points.
I think it was 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2.
So Kenny Farr throwed up the last second shot and hit it from half court. So we ended up beating them by 2.
That's how y'all won?
No, that's how they. Well, I still maybe it was 3-pointer. It'd been different because he hit a half court shot to end the game.
And we wound up winning by 2.
Yeah.
Was that the winning shot that put y'all ahead?
Right. Well, no. What Dunn is saying is that New Madrid had the last second shot.
Oh, they had the last
So
second
if
shot.
there had been a 3-point line, so we lost by 1.
Okay.
But he threw it up from half court.
The tie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Went in overtime
yeah,
from there.
Yeah.
Okay, and y'all won by 2 in overtime. So wow. And we were talking before we came on that y'all actually lost to them in the Papa Bluff Showdown earlier that year. Is that right?
Yes, that's the only team in the state of Missouri that beat us that year with New Madrid. We played 3 times. We beat them twice, and they beat us once.
So yeah, that's that one time probably helped to get over that hump the next time.
I remember that being an emotional time for us when we lost to New Madrid in that Poplar Bluff tournament, which that was a championship of that tournament. And every year we always began our season at Jonesboro, what they called the Wendy's Hurricane Classic back then, and we played a couple of teams out of Memphis and then lost to them. So we come back and lost to the New Magic there in Poplar Bluff. It was really emotional to lose that game, and after that, I mean, we just rolled from there. And also, that was our first year Malden beat Charleston.
13 years.
13 years. We wound up beating Charleston by 1. I can remember that play. I think Bobby Lewis shot it, and it was short. And Dunny here flew in and tipped it in, and we beat them 51-50. So that was a big feat that year too.
The old hangar was packed that night. Had to put chairs on stage, and I mean it was a good game, to beat Charleston.
Yeah.
And then later on that year when we went to state, I read in the newspaper where Coach McFerrin said that we sent the right team up there to state. He watched us play. He said, well, that was the right team we sent up there that year. I mean, had to be a compliment coming from Coach Mack, one of the winningest coaches around here.
Yeah. Well, he had his fair share. So
he did. He did. Had some good teams. He sure did.
Yeah. And going back to that graphic of your state championship run, as you beat New Madrid in the districts, went to sectional round, defeated Fredericktown 79-38, and no problem there with the Fredericktown Black Cats.
No.
Had no problem with them in the sectional round. The quarterfinal round, as you mentioned, McKinley, had a little game there, 68-59 victory, and not real close, but probably definitely your closest game throughout the state tournament. They were the defending state champions.
That's correct. Yeah, that was the quarterfinals was the closest game we had played coming out of the district. So, and then when we played Waynesville, I think that was like a 40 point victory.
Yeah, bring that graphic back up there. Waynesville in the semifinals defeated them 89-49. Took care of them pretty quick there in the semifinals. Then the championship game, defeated Lutheran North 88-67. 21-point victory, and not much, not much competition there either. So
I remember after that Waynesville game, a coach, I guess everybody that was scouting us only told him about Ray Pugh, and he put it in the newspaper. Only one y'all kept saying I had to worry about was Ray Pugh. He said, but that Jenkins kid and that Ison kid, some ball players too.
Yeah, but y'all had it all that year.
He talked about the guards being unselfish too.
We had some good teammates. I think about Tracy Stone and Glenn Burnett and Billy Jones,
Bobby Lewis.
I mean, all those guys. We couldn't have done without them. And I mean, like Donnie said, our guards were unselfish. I mean, they didn't mind giving up the ball, and they didn't care about scoring. I mean, they just wanted to win.
Yeah, because I think me, you, and Ray averaged 60 points both of them championship games. The rest of them come from the other guy.
Yeah. And let's go back to that footage. We're going to try to point out some of the players here. So all the folks out there know who's who out there when it comes to this photo. And here we go. State championship game, 1985 in the Hearn Center in Columbia. And pretty packed crowd as we see Donnie getting underway here, puts up a shot, gets his own rebound, and it goes up with the left hand. And getting the Green Wave started off here in the beginning. We see Ray Pugh here with the jumper on the baseline. And started out a little slow.
Yeah.
I know y'all got down like 6-0, and we see a jumper here. And was that you? That was Donnie there. I think that was Donnie right there. But here's Robert getting a little basket there underneath, starting to dominate the paint in this game. And now we see Robert here again getting a rebound, putting it right back up and in. And later on here, this is the second half. Seeing down under, and I think that one might have been Pugh there. Was that Pugh there?
No, that was Donnie.
Was that Donnie there? Okay, that was Donnie. And we see Tracy Stone getting out on his own there with a breakaway layup.
Tracy was quick and had quick hands.
Yep. And there's a basket underneath. And here's a long one. I didn't see who threw that one, but it's down to Pugh here.
Right, Pugh.
And threw it down.
Yeah.
Who was that with the assist on that? I didn't see. I couldn't tell who inbounded that, but that was pretty much the dagger there towards the end of the game. Ray Pugh throws it down.
In that game, I think Donnie would come out and hit the first 8.
Yeah,
First 10 points.
First 8 points there.
And you see there a packed crowd in the Hearn Center, and you can even see the KML banner across the way there with the radio.
Remember Dave Green had said Luther North 8, Donnie Jenkins 8.
So just some footage there from that game, and I tell you, it was a packed crowd. You had the crowd there, there in the Hearn Center in Columbia, and taking care of Lutheran North. You just dominated the state championship. I'm sure you going in that state tournament, you didn't think it was going to be that easy of a road, but it certainly come out to be.
No, I didn't. I never thought it would be that easy, and I think it didn't really sink in what we had accomplished until we got back home and had, like a homecoming when we got back. But no, I didn't. I never would have guessed it was going to be that easy.
Yeah, and that just goes to show the talent that Class 3A district had, and basically you win the state championship in the district tournament the way it was there in the 80s.
That against New Magic. And they said they figured we too had the best team around. We could put guys off of each team together and probably beat some of the junior colleges that was around this area.
Yeah, because you take a look at those highlights, Donnie. That one of the first highlights there. You shoot it, get your own rebound, and then split up and go with the left. I mean, you don't see very many high school players make that play. Yeah. And he certainly had that ability. And now, Robert, you stand at what, about 6'4"?
Yeah, I was 6'4".
6'4". Now Ray, how big was Ray?
Ray was 6'4".
6'4". Yeah. So high school level, you got two 6'4s underneath. Mm-hmm. As long as you guys were.
Yeah, we were long, and Ray, not only was he 6'4", he was really athletic. Yeah. Ray could also handle the ball and shoot it, so that made a big difference. I mean, me and him at 6'4", Dunny 5'11". You had Bobby Lewis 6 foot. Then we had a couple of kids on the bench. I mean, Jeff Parker, I think, was like 6'2". That come off the bench. So
Alan
Marshall, he's about 6'1", 6'2". So I mean, we had good size.
Yeah, certainly did. And, like we spoke of earlier, well-rounded team. The guard play, the inside, the rebounding. And as you watch this game, y'all didn't take that many shots outside. It seemed like y'all had y'all's way in the paint. Whether it was Donnie and the other guys driving in, or you guys cleaning up rebounds, or just throwing it down to you guys in the post. Y'all pretty much owned the paint.
Right. We mentioned earlier about the guards being unselfish. I mean, they were. I mean, they played defense, and you had people like Tracy Stone, who was quick. Billy Jones, he was quick, and Glenn Burnett, he wasn't, not really quick, but he's a good ball handler, made good decisions with the ball. So, I mean, they gave it up all the time, and I was just one of them people. If I saw Donnie shooting or Ray shooting, whoever shooting, I just go try to get a rebound in case they miss. So, and I think that was a big thing with our team that you don't see a lot today. You get a lot of kids just watch. Ball go inside, and if the ball goes inside these days, that's a lost art too. But anyway, they may throw it inside, the kids shoot it, the people on the outside just stand there and watch. We weren't like that. I mean, we didn't never take off on the plays. Ball go up, everybody went to the boards like it was going to be a miss.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it sure does. And you talk about your record that year, 30-3. You mentioned New Madrid County Central loss earlier in the year, and that was your only loss to an in-state team in Missouri. And talk about your other two losses you had.
I was down in that Wendy Classic.
There,
played a couple teams out of Tennessee. I remember one was Bolton, Tennessee. That's the first game of the season.
That's correct.
And I think they had a kid on there went pro.
Yeah, I want to say his last name was Tate. He played a little pro ball, and I think he played college ball at Arkansas State. He was like a 6'9", 250-pound kid, which back in them days was huge. I mean, being 6'4", you was tall back in them days. So like I tell my kids now, back then 6'4", they wanted you on the block with your back to the basket. Now, 6'4", you're going to be a guard at the next level. Yeah. And so I'm in high school, so It's really changed from back when we played.
Yeah, 6'9", 250, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hoss.
You didn't have many. You didn't have really many wide guys then. As we see there, you guys were pretty thin back in that day. You didn't see the Shaquille O'Neal types around. But 6'9", 250. That'd be a hoss to run into. And y'all talk about the teams y'all are playing and the teams that y'all are playing against and having to lose to, having potential pro talent. So that just shows you what it took to take on you guys. So that's something to certainly look back on. And talk about your coach a little bit, Gary Scott.
Randy
Scott. Yeah, get Randy Scott, and just tell us about your coach back in that day. I mean, what was his style? What was what was his coaching style?
Most of the coaching style he wanted to play zone. And I can remember when we got ready to play Charleston, he come out and said we was going to set up in the zone. And we was in the huddle, and we was like, no, we're going to play man-to-man. And he was like, do y'all think y'all can handle them man-to-man? I said, well, they going to have to handle us too, because we wasn't going to back down from them. And we went out and played them man-to-man. And like I said, 13 years. We finally beat them after 13 years. And he kind of... At first, he had a range on me. He didn't want me shooting. He wanted to put it inside the Ray and Robert. And I had a talk with him. I said, "Hey man, I can shoot the ball. We're gonna have to open it up so we can get it to Ray and Robert sometime. Because most teams gonna pack in on Ray and Robert. So you're gonna need somebody that can shoot it from the outside." But I mean, and he realized that, and he told me to practice on my shot and gave me the key, to take the shot. But we had fun with him. Sometimes he probably got mad at us, but we always had fun with him.
He got mad at Donnie. Donnie kind of remind me of my youngest boy. Kind of remind me of Donnie when it comes to shooting. It's not a shot he didn't like. So I mean, Coach Scott, he did good with the talent on his team and his strategies. We had like a 1-3-1 zone that we played that was pretty effective because we were so long.
We had a press.
Yeah,
we pressed a lot.
So
that length works to the advantage there too.
Right. And he would let us use our talents. He wouldn't try to. Like Ray. Ray was athletic. He was a dunker. He wouldn't tell Ray. You couldn't dunk. So he was kind of let us use our talents and let us do the things that we could do.
Yeah, and that's one thing you hear about the '85 team. You talk about people that watch so much basketball over the years for the dunks back in '85. Just some gym rattling jams from the '85 Malden team.
Yeah.
I can remember Coach Scott's famous word to be, "Hey, don't be jacking that thing up out there like that." I laugh at that sometimes, After I got out of school, I messed with him about it a lot, though.
Yeah, we had a good time. Like I said, we all got along, and it was like a family. It was like your second family. Everybody got along on the court, off the court. Sometimes we may have had our differences on things, but we worked them out and went on. So, it was nice to be in that atmosphere.
Yeah, and not to mention not forgetting to mention Malden won the Sportsmanship Award that year, along with the state championship.
You don't see that happen very often, do you? Win a state championship and then you get a Sportsmanship Award. But that means a lot too. So I was glad we won that.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to be humble and sportsmanlike when you just rolling over everybody. There's not much to complain about, is there?
We had a bunch of fans up there too. So they followed it up there. It was fun.
Yeah, that's
pretty good time.
You talk to Malden people there that's been in the community for years, and they look back on different things in the community, and they'll almost always say the '85 Malden basketball team. That always is there when it comes to Malden's history. So that's a tribute to you guys and what what you all did in that time, and y'all still around Malden.
Yeah.
Robert, you're the principal there.
Yes.
At the high school, and Donnie still living there in Malden, and you've been on the city council before and things like that. So these guys are still around, and good amount of you went on to the next level and played basketball at the next level.
Yeah.
And you went to Three Rivers, as you mentioned earlier.
I played 2 years at Three Rivers. Like I say, when we won a state championship, I was a junior. My senior year in high school, we finished 22-6, but I had a good year as a senior, and I ended up going to Three Rivers for 2 years, played there 2 years, and then I transferred to Union University down there in Jackson, Tennessee, and played 2 more years. So, I had a good experience at playing college ball. I going through high school, and I was going to play NBA. I was going to play NBA, and I'd go through high school, and that first practice at college, I step out there, and I'm thinking, whoa, you talking about a whole different. I was a kid growing up 6'4" and playing with my back to the basket all the time.
Yeah.
So when I went to college, I a lot of times would have to guard or try to post up a kid that was 6'11". So it was a big battle for me and a big change for me. But like I said, I played 4 years and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, you talk about Three Rivers. That's a national program.
Yes.
At the junior college level. So you're playing amongst the elite when it comes to junior colleges. So playing with Gene Bess, you're playing at that level.
Right. That's
and
correct.
Donnie, you went on to play at a couple schools too.
Yeah, Southern Baptist down in Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. I think I was a freshman leading scorer there. I think I averaged like 17 points a game. Like you said, I played against Best. Like you said, that's a tough team to play against. But I had quite a few people that know me from Malden come to me after the game because we played in Walnut Ridge, and they come talk to me. They still remember me from playing in Malden.
Yeah. Yeah, Walnut Ridge. Southern Baptist is now known as Williams Baptist.
Yeah.
And it was junior college then. Now it's a 4-year NAIA school, I believe. So y'all guys went on to the next level and pretty much maxed out. Maxed out when it come to your basketball days, and even Ray Pugh went on to the next level, played some. And anybody else from the team play on at the next level at all?
No, we were the only 3. As a matter of fact, you talk about Ray. When Ray finished at SEMO, he was All-American at SEMO, and when he finished there, he actually had a tryout with the Philadelphia 76ers. And that was back when Charles Barkley was playing for the 76ers, and Ray made the last cut with the 76ers, and then after that he played a spell, and I think they had the CBA back then.
Yeah,
so
he played with John Starks and
yeah, he
Mason.
sure did. Yeah, he sure did. He played with
he played on
John.
the same team they played on. So some part of Iowa.
Yeah, I want to say Cedar Rapids.
Yeah,
Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So he had a season or 2 in the CBA, and probably would have eventually, might have made it to the NBA. He was just that good.
Yeah.
So, at SEMO he played 2 guard. Ray was 6'4", 2 guard. So, that could, like I say, could shoot it, handle the ball, and play good defense. So he was athletic.
Yeah. Was he one of the SEMO teams that played in the championship game?
Yeah,
National championship? Second.
Yeah.
I can't remember what year it was. Maybe was it 80?
I want to say, yeah. Well, I wanted to say, 80. I want to say 87, 86, 87, because it was his freshman year at SEMO.
Yeah.
And that's back when they had
Ronnie
Rankins and all them guys, Riley Ellis. They played the Division II championship in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And finished second.
I talked to a guy that played, old Tony Walford out of New Mexico, played at SEMO, and he said every freshman that comes in SEMO wanted to break Ray Pugh's record. So that's all they wanted to do was break Ray Pugh's record. So, it kind of surprised me one time. I went to the mall in Cape, went to the sports shop, and here Ray jerseys. They selling Ray Pugh jerseys like they got the NBA jerseys, they had Simo jersey with his number on it and Pew on the back of it. They were selling the jerseys up there.
Yeah. Can't do that anymore.
No.
Yeah, that was a different time then. So, Ray Pugh sticks out in people's mind playing, deep into, college and even professional ranks, and these two guys playing at the next level and left a legacy, that's for sure. People always talk about, in the rich tradition in Southeast Missouri basketball, especially high school basketball, and you talk about, the past Scott County teams, the Charleston teams, and the 85 Malden team will always stick out, and it's just a tribute to what these guys did in their time there at Malden. And you guys had kids that's being competitive in sports as well. Donnie, your son, Dontre Jenkins, played over at New Madrid and went up to William Woods University there in Fulton, and he's actually now finished up his career and even playing with a team going overseas some. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, he's leaving June 7th. He'll be over there for 10 days. He got picked to go over there and play in this sub-type Olympic deal over there. So he'll be over there 10 days playing ball over there. And he went up to William Wood. He broke the all-time leading assist record up there. So he holds that record up there. And he told me he was going to probably try to impress him over there, try to stay over there and play if he can. See him play overseas.
Yeah, Dontre was a good talent. There at New Madrid, one of the best around. Certainly when it comes to the guard play, and that's good that he got his 4 years. He's wanting to coach, I believe, isn't he?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he's going to probably try to play a little bit more ball.
That's good.
Yeah, that'd be great, and it's great he's been able to go overseas, and it's an American team, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Team of American college players playing overseas, and Robert, you got a son that's in high school playing ball now. Trevor?
Trevor. I got two boys in high school. Trevor's a sophomore, and Tyler is a freshman. Just rooting for him to keep growing.
Yeah. Well, the Trevor's starting to, he's got the ice inside so far. It looks like he's what?
Well, Trevor's 6'5". Now, I was telling Dunn and them on the way up here that it seemed like he grows, all the time. I can remember, I thought last week me and him were standing beside each other, and I thought we were the same size, and then we took a picture at school this week, and he's about a head taller than me now, so I'm just rooting for both of them to keep growing. Trevor, he had a good season this year. He played varsity, and for his size right now, he's a decent shooter. And like I tell both of them, just work on putting on. You want to be a good shooter, put up shots. So they usually go to the gym every morning before school and shoot. So if they keep doing that, it'll pay off for them.
Yeah, which Malden can use some size. They've had a little stretch here with mostly athletic guard play, but Trevor coming along with some size, it'll certainly help out the Green Wave going forward. So, anything else guys would like to share about your experience back in '85, or maybe give a shout out to anyone out there that helped y'all along the way, or just anything at all?
I'd like to thank the community. They followed us through high school, and when we made the run, and gave us a lot of support. My coach back then, Randy Scott, he was always good to us, and looked out for us.
Mickey White. Mickey White helped us out a lot too.
Yeah.
He was the girls' coach. They lost in Cape, and after that he stayed on behind the bench and helped Coach Scott out a lot.
Yeah. And and the guys we played with. You never can say enough about the Tracy Stones, the Bobby Lewises, the Billy Jones, the Alan Marshalls, Glenn Burnett, and all them guys.
Cole.
Yeah, Paul Cole. Jeff Parker. All them guys made it possible. So you never want to leave them out.
Yeah, totally a team effort. That '85 team was, and certainly one of the best teams around when it comes to Southeast Missouri in high school basketball. And we're going to be showing that full game. We're going to have it coming up next here at 11 o'clock or so here on YHC. You can watch the full championship game of Malden defeating Lutheran North coming up, and we're going to be playing that throughout next week as well. So you'll have plenty of opportunity to catch that here on YHC, the full championship game from back in 1985. You can even catch it online. We'll have it probably over the weekend, available on YHCTV.com and SemoSportZone.com. So it's going to be fun to watch that, and you might even give a little. You might get a little feedback this week, so be ready for it.
There'll probably be someone come to school and tell me, Mr. Ison, he's seen you in them little shorts. Which you talked earlier, and you was talking about how little we were. I mean, we were long and lanky and little, but I guess back then we wasn't like kids are now. They lift a lot of weights, body conditioning. We hardly ever did that. We just played a lot of basketball.
I did a little bit playing football, I did, but not during basketball season.
I was kidding with these guys. You've heard of the bigger, faster, stronger program. I don't think they had that then. It was just the faster program because they weren't big and probably strong, but they didn't have the build as some of the guys do today. So it was just basically just putting that ball in the hole at that point. Yeah. So. We thank you guys for coming on today. It's been fun, and we see you guys all the time. Donnie does some basketball games with us. You can always see him around a Malden basketball game, or Robert's there at the high school with being a principal, and we see you guys all the time. It's good to have you guys on and share with everybody your experience back in '85 and be able to show this championship game for this week, and it's good to look back and appreciate the talent here in our communities, and y'all certainly were the cream of the crop there in '85, and we appreciate you guys coming on and sharing with us.
Glad to be here.
All right, that's Robert Ison, Donnie Jenkins. Be sure to give them a hard time when you're out and seeing them. So tell these guys that you appreciate watching them here on YHC. And that's all we've got for you today, and we appreciate you for tuning in as always. We've got one more roundtable show in the season, and we're going to try to put something together for you next week. We might have an officials day. That's usually our last day to have an officials day to share with all our viewers about officiating high school athletics, and you can tune in for that as well. So look forward to that. Our last show being next Saturday for the roundtable season. We'll be wrapping up the sports season here over the next few weeks, and hopefully you'll join us for the rest of the way. And that's all we've got for you. Appreciate you for tuning in as always. We'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.